True.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back to another stream, everybody. Glad to have you. I will just put a brief disclaimer. This will be another brief stream because I do have somewhere to be. But we weren't live yesterday. It was a bit of a slow day for most of the altcoins, so I definitely wanted to go live today and make sure I was here to answer questions, say what's up to everybody, and, you know, hang out. So let's see. All right, let's see who we got in the chat already. A lot of people here already and already hitting that like button. I do appreciate you. And if you haven't yet hit the like button and you are here, please consider helping the channel out by doing so. What's up, Doge Scotland? Rick, how's it going? Skydive, welcome back. Sparkle, what's going on, man? And Artful, what's up? All right, let me read through some of your comments here, then we'll take a look at the chart. So says, I get some rockets from Doge Scotland. That's what I like to see. We're going to need to give Doge a kick to move. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, we've got some stuff to talk about here. We should be at 42.45 by now. This is nuts. Right. And why is Doge not moving? All right. So looks like the overall theme of the questions here is Shiba Inu. Awesome. Dogecoin, what's going on? So let's go from there. I'll go ahead, share my screen, and we can get into it. So first of all, Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin is going absolutely crazy right now, and it is sitting right around where I expected it to be sitting. A couple days ago when we were live, we talked about what the price targets were on Bitcoin, and I was thinking it would pull back right at around 52, and 53 would be the limit. But then if it were to pull back and then continue up, then we would see a move towards 55, where it'd probably stall out, or maybe we could break above 55 and head towards 60 and 65. But the levels were 52, 53, 55. Now, as you go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin here to see where it went and where it's sitting, and by the way, it does look like it's going to make another run up here as we're speaking. But if you just go ahead and take a look at what ended up happening here, you can see that we did move up to 52. We did a pullback, and then we headed up to 53. But we did not actually end up stopping very much at 53. Once we got to 53, we just kind of continued. So let's see here. 52, pull back, move up to 53. And this is where it consolidated. And then as soon as it broke 53, it made a run straight up to that 55 target price. Now, like I always say, guys, this is just technical analysis. You can look at supports, resistances, and some indicators to get a good idea of what the price action is going to be. And we had drawn this out as well as far as what the expectation would be with this move. So, if you've been hanging around these streams, we talk about these things in advance, and we're not always right, but what we're doing is discussing amongst ourselves and coming to the most reasonable conclusion so that we have the highest chance of being correct. All right, and this time we were. This move right here is exactly what's been taking place, and I do expect this to continue up towards 65 and the bull run to head. We should be on our way towards 100,000 by the end of the year. I don't necessarily think we could still hit the price target. I'm not saying we will or we won't, but we will be in a bullish continuation as long as nothing goes wrong with Evergrande and with the infrastructure bill announcement. So there's that. Now you might be wondering, why in the world is SHIB up 600% and what's going to happen next? So, what's up, guys? Ready for the SHIB breakdown? What's going on, Adam? Dave G, what's going on? You dumped all your AMP into SHIB. Let me go ahead and ask, guys, before I get into this explanation, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you. But that is not what I was going to ask. It was just a good time. So I want to ask, what are you guys holding right now? If you're holding SHIB specifically, I want to know where you bought in, and are you 100% in? Are you all in? Did you take some profit? Where are you at with your SHIB play right now? So go ahead and let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, I'll read some more of your replies here. Dave G said he dumped all his AMP into SHIB. I don't blame you. AMP is a slow mover. What's up, Byron? I don't believe in SHIBs anymore. You bought at 6, sold at 30. Now it's dumping. Glad I got out. That's a great play, man. Well played. Gonna drop some zeros soon. It very well could. It could. Any updates on XRP? No updates on XRP. Last thing I heard was that they are still trying to figure out how to settle this lawsuit the right way. And they have not reached a decision yet. All right, Dave says he bought in at about 555. Are you still holding, Dave, or have you sold any? That's kind of what I want to know, guys. Where'd you buy in? Are you still holding, or did you sell everything? Or, where do you sit? So I can get an idea of how much profit you've made and then what you're doing right now. Oh, you double down at 22? Okay, 25. 1 billion SHIB at 6. Wow. Robert says he got in and out with $100 profit. I'm happy. Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Whether you're here, guys, from the Doge army or the SHIB army or the Bitcoin army or the Ethereum army, we are all in crypto together. Regardless of our preference, guys, click that subscribe button. Make sure that you've locked this channel in as another channel that you can go watch, because I talk about all cryptocurrencies. I don't have a bias. If there's an opportunity, we're going to talk about it, and I just tell it how it is. So if you like that kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Cool. This is good stuff. Rick says that he took profit earlier back at 23.13 with 300 million SHIB. Awesome. profit around $9,000. Wow. Oh, John, you got hacked, man. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Advantage says he's a proud holder of Doge, but didn't touch SHIB. Hey, I understand. I understand. Me personally, I was in SHIB a while ago. It wasn't one of my plays recently. I didn't mess with it recently. I decided to take the risk because we know that at any time, any one of these cryptocurrencies that are at value or undervalued, something could happen, a random announcement where they just blow up. So if you decide to move your money elsewhere, you're at risk of missing a move in that crypto that you move out of. So Dave G says, I'm looking for a Hail Mary, no short change, even though I see why people take profits. I understand. I bought in 106 million at average 9,000 units, and you're still holding. You didn't get out in the 30s. Okay, gotcha, Jonathan. I understand. Cool, guys. Good stuff. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Dogecoin next, and then we'll go into SHIB. Because Doge isn't... Well, let's just go right into SHIB, actually. Before Webull shuts down the charts here. So this is the daily chart, guys. This is the daily chart. All right. This is absolutely insane. You can see SHIB was just sitting down here. There were, little dips, little moves up to, 500 on the bottom side, 1,000 on the top side, moving up, down. And then all of a sudden, massive move up. In case you're new to this whole thing here and you don't know why it happened, the main reason is because, the secondary reason, I'll go with that first, is because Elon Musk posted a picture of his new Shiba Inu dog named Floki. That sparked hype for Dogecoin and for SHIB. That moved it up a bit, but that is not what made it 6x. The real catalyst here is on Twitter. There was a leak of an interaction with a customer in Robinhood, customer support, where Robinhood's customer support told the customer that they were going to be adding a lot of coins, including Shiba Inu. All right. And they did send a screenshot of that. Now, we don't know if it was photoshopped or anything like that. It could have been very easily, to be honest, but that's not the point. That is not the point. We don't always want to assume the worst and assume negativity. The thing is, the announcement was leaked. The price skyrocketed. Now, we'll obviously need some validation to make it official from Robinhood, but until then, we just have that screenshot that showed it. And I was trying to look for it there. I couldn't find it fast enough. But anyway, that's what made Shiba Inu take off from where it was sitting at around 5, 6, or 7,000 Satoshi and rocketed all the way up to 3,500, which is 6x. Absolutely insane. Actually, a little more than 6x depending on where you bought in. So hopefully you guys were at the very least able to, if you were in, you were able to make some sort of play here to lock some money in. We'll keep talking about it. Let me read some of your new comments here. Dan Vier says, went all in on SHIB at 8, sold 3/4 at 35, and still holding 10 million SHIB. I used my profit to buy Doge. Very, very, very smart play there. 100 million SHIB after taking profit today. Sweet. Good stuff, guys. And what's going on, Rafi? Welcome back to the stream. So if you were in the Discord chat, and I know I didn't stream yesterday, but that's because I usually don't just go live for only one small reason, and the move had already happened. But in our Discord group yesterday, a lot of people were asking in our Shiba Inu chat, what should we do? I'm in SHIB, the price is going up like crazy. What are price targets? Where should I expect it to stop? And what should I do? Now, the thing is, that answer gets really, really tricky, guys, because when you are breaking into new all-time highs, there's no ceiling. The sky is literally the limit. So you have to start analyzing the situation, the community, and a whole lot of other factors to try and figure out how far is this thing probably going to go? How much hype is it generating? How much percentage gain is this announcement probably going to generate? And if you're new to the game and you're not really good at doing those kind of analysis, that can be really almost impossible to figure out. It's like taking a stab in the dark. Thankfully, this is something I do, and that's why I go live all the time and why I have the group, because I'm usually able to get a pretty good idea. It's not going to be 100%, and it's not going to be right 100% of the time, but I'm going to be in the ballpark most of the time, and that's why me as a trader, I'm successful myself. Obviously, that's why I teach others. So my guess was, when we were sitting, that question got raised when we were on the way up, and we were somewhere around here. around that 2300 mark. My guess was that we really, and I said, I genuinely do not believe we're going much over 3,000 in my head. If it hit 3,000, I would have been all out, or at least mostly out. I'll just say 75%. If I still wanted to play the SHIB game and hold this long term, I would have locked in those profits, waited, let's just say sold 50 to 75% at 3,000 ish. As soon as I saw it slow down at that 3,000 point, locked in profit, held a little bit still just in case it kept going, just to get rid of that. It is good sometimes to do preventative measures to keep you from doing a re-entry off FOMO. So if you just leave a little bit of skin left in the game, you'll still see gains as it continues to go up if you took most of your coins out. So that's part of the reason why you should usually scale out when you're not sure. It's to protect yourself from doing something dumb afterward, honestly. All right. But then at the same time, what if it went to 6? That 25% still could have generated a lot of money for you. So basically scaling out right at 3 as soon as it starts to slow down at that 3 point, and then waiting to see what happens next and looking for some stability, and then a potential re-entry when you see signs of stability, signs of trading sideways, signs of, we're no longer just parabolically going up. We've had a pullback or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. We're near some levels of support, maybe off indicators. The RSI has dropped down to oversold, or the MACD looks like a good entry, or the EMAs, you're getting a pullback to a EMA support level, whatever indicators that you like to look at. Some kind of confirmation of a good re-entry point. And after that hype first run cools off and you get people doing that big take profit, then you go ahead and you re-enter and hope for some money off the bounce, whether that's just a dead bounce like we kind of have on Bitcoin right now, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. All right. So you could have done a play. Basically what I'm saying is like this. You get the big run up. You say, all right, I think we're stalling out. Let's just say at 60,000. So you sell at 60. You wait for this whole thing to stabilize, do the pullback sell off, and then you rebuy the dip, and then you ride that bounce up, right? And so now you avoided this loss, but now you're getting this gain, and then you can either hold long term since you're in at a good spot and hope that it goes to the moon and beyond, or you just ride this little bounce up and sell, and then you call it a day. So that's the same general idea with anything that goes up almost parabolically. And SHIB is no exception. So the take profit was right around 3K. If you were in the group, you heard that. Sorry, I was not live yesterday because generally I don't cover SHIB, not all the time. So there was really nothing in Dogecoin to talk about or the other coins. So, but now here's what we have. Now that we've explained that. And 3,000, I can't really tell you how I got to that level. It was just a mental analysis, all right, of different factors and knowing how the community typically moves, knowing how Dogecoin moved off the announcement, so on and so forth. So we stalled out at 35, pulled back all the way down to 21, and now we're consolidating right here. If you are still 100% in at this point in time, and you were in from here, you might be wondering, what should I do? What kind of advice would someone give me? Well, I'll first say I'm not a financial advisor, so please keep that in mind. These are just trading suggestions. If it were me, what I would be doing, this is not me telling you what to do. So the thing is, if you bought in anywhere under 1,000 and you're sitting here right now holding at 2,300, you are still up over 100%. That is over 2x. Please do not get overly greedy and end up realizing little to no profits. Now, I'm not saying that because I don't believe SHIB is going to go up higher. I actually do believe that it will. The question is always, though, when and what kind of trading style do you have? The reason I'm saying that is because if you are a long-time holder and you don't like to mess around with multiple coins, you have really no reason to sell. Unless you just wanted to lock in some profits, buy the dip, and then close your phone for another year or something. Because you're not going to do anything with that profit except for now have it in cash. Because the only coin you're really trading is SHIB. If that's the case, you don't need to worry so much, though I would still lock some profit in. So either way, basically what I'm saying, whether you're a long-term investor or a trader, you should probably be out by now about 50%. That would be my recommendation. The thing is, the reason is, if you bought, like I said, under 1,000, you've already at least 2x your money. When you think about how long that usually takes if you're properly trading, and a lot of people get into crypto to like gamble trade and hope that they hit it big. Now you can do that and maybe you'll be successful, but if you have to take multiple attempts, you're probably going to lose more than you're going to win. It is extremely difficult to pull off. So if this was your first try and you kind of all in at like 500-600, and now you have this quick 2x 3x, that is very, very rare to catch without losing a whole lot of money first. So lock some of that in and understand that what happened was good. At the same time though, SHIB will probably continue, but what you should want to do is see stability first, making sure that we've hit a bottom and not ride this potentially back down to where I think it could pull back to, which is just the technical levels of support. The easiest way to find those, use the 200, 150 EMA on a high time frame and look at where the areas of value are considered. If I just look at a pretty conservative, reasonable time frame here, which is the 4 hour. I'm not going to do the daily. That's really overly bearish. I'm not going to do a short-term time frame. Some of these are overly bullish. 4 hour is usually what big money, smart money, large account investors use. If I were to use the 4 hour, the 50 EMA is sitting right here at around 15 to 1600. That I think is the worst case scenario pullback. Now, if this was a pump off of anything else, I would say there was potential for this to move back down. But you can look at Dogecoin, for example, and see what happened after it got announced on Robinhood. It took off from like the 4 to 5 cent range and rocketed up to 20, 30, 40 cents. And it did not go back to 5 cents ever. All right. Getting announced on Robinhood is really, really, really big. This move here from 5 to 35 is basically exactly what Dogecoin did, moving from 4 to 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 35 cents that day. But then Dogecoin did pull back to 16 cents, if you remember. And that would put this in the same exact zone here, 15, 16, 17. That is probably where SHIB will pull back unless there's continued news short term to sustain the price and keep it from pulling back, because people are going to want to lock in profit. People that bought here, here, even here, they're going to want to see some gains. You're going to see some red candles, but then you're probably going to see a continuation as we get closer to the Robinhood actual go live with SHIB and confirmation from Robinhood themselves saying that wasn't just a forged email, and then it'll really snowball even more. You could see SHIB go up to 4, maybe even go up to 5. I would not be surprised. Think Dogecoin off catalysts. Look, take away some zeros and think about how these numbers here, let's just say this is 23 cents, Dogecoin. We've seen SHIB go from 5 cents, just like Dogecoin did, just now to 35. It can go to 40. It can go to 50 off this hype, but there will be pullbacks. So I would have locked in 75% here at 3,000, waited for pullback towards 1,500, anywhere from 1,500 to that 2 range, and then started to buy back in. And of that 75% I took out, I would probably drop another 50% in at 2,000, or even another 75% in at that 15 to 1,600 range, and then just leave another 25% just in case it for some reason pulled back further, but not expecting it. And then as long as I get some confirmation that that was the bottom, I would start adding all the way back up and just be back all in at this dip. I think it will dip like this. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I do think we will see something like that. Hopefully that makes sense. But don't get so greedy, guys, that you never realize profit. Because what you could have done, sold at 3, rebought here at 2, and now as soon as we go back to 3, you just made a whole nother like 40% on your investment. Let's see. But like I said, if you're a longer term holder and you're not just a trader and you don't like messing with it that much, there's no need for you to sell. There probably, unless this rumor gets disproved, there will be another run. But keep in mind, it could get disproved. There's always that risk. In which case, SHIB will obviously tank, because then the momentum will have been false, and then people will immediately sell off, and it'll go back to the decent price it was already sitting at. Let's see. Good position you got there at 255. Oh, that's with 4 zeros, huh? That's a little high. That is a little high. I'd be a little concerned. Juan says took advantage. Awesome. Jonathan, what's going on? I have a problem holding. Yes, smash the like button. Thank you, Adam. And what's going on, guys? I see a lot of new people in the chat today. Don't forget, if you have not already, subscribe, because we do these kind of streams where I explain this kind of thing pretty much daily. So if you like that content, hit that button. Since it was near its all-time high already, what should we look for now as far as SHIB? Yeah, so we hit 3,000. We went a little above to 3,500. Fine, it's in the threes. I'm expecting a pullback to 2, maybe even like 1,600, unless SHIB gets some good announcement over the next day or two that keeps the price from selling off a little more. I do expect a little more sell-off. And if we get a candle here on the 4-hour time frame that closes down here, people will panic a little bit, thinking, we're gonna get a multiple red candle sell off here, and we will probably just graze this 50 EMA here. All right, and that's really not even low. 15, 16, 1700. We were just at like 600. So, or 6,000. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. My worry concern is that Doge money may move out of Doge to SHIB due to the movement. When do you think we will see Doge move again? I think we'll see Doge move again as soon as SHIB cools off. Now, a lot of people in Dogecoin a lot of people in crypto started from Dogecoin, and then they branched out after the Dogecoin hype to other coins that they thought would generate hype and generate revenue. So you're probably right. A lot of people did. Even some of the ones that hadn't already left Doge for SHIB or Floki Inu or Satama or whatever Inu coin or Dog coin that they switched to for a pump, hopefully. A lot of people that were lingering probably did sell their Dogecoin and ride the SHIB wave up. As soon as SHIB cools back off down towards that 2,000 or under level, you'll probably see some money shift back over to Doge, and Doge might just go up like 1% or 2%. It's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be that much. And the bad thing about that too is they're also selling at the bottom to go back into Dogecoin, which doesn't make any sense, but that is just how traders do. Didn't touch SHIB, toxic community, didn't like the fundamentals, Doges me all day. I understand. Any news on Bitcoin ETF? Did you see Michael Saylor's tweet? I did not. Let's take a look. No problem, Jonathan. Absolutely. Glad to help. Doge's birthday? I don't know. I didn't even think about that. Adam's in at 8. Cool. That's a good... You're in a good profit too. You're over 2x. You're actually 3x at this moment. So let's go ahead and take a look at Artful's question about the Bitcoin ETF and Michael Saylor. So as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen, there's no new news for the Bitcoin ETF yet. They have until November 11th is the deadline they gave themselves to get things figured out for that ETF and decide whether or not it's going to go. So we've got about a month here, 30 days. I think it's going to work out. I don't see a problem with it. They might want to wait for infrastructure. I doubt that has anything to do with it. I'm just spitballing here, but we'll see. When it comes to... before I go to Michael Saylor's tweet here, another thing about Shiba Inu, guys. They are burning some tokens. That is going to help the price stay up and continue to go up a little bit at the very least, all right? So if you go to this account, SHIB token, the official SHIB token account here, the announcement they made 3 hours ago, we are proud to announce that we will be establishing a partnership with Now Payments. Now Payments will onboard the SHIB trifecta, which is SHIB, Leash, and Bone, starting with SHIB, burning a percentage on each transaction that is completed using Now Payments. Now Payments will be integrated with Shopify, WooCommerce, and more. So that's actually pretty big. That is actually pretty big. Not only are they announcing that they're going to establish with this brand to make payments with SHIB token, but they are going to be burning some coins. When there's less coins in circulation, that means each coin becomes more valuable. Now, SHIB at this moment in time does not necessarily have the same community as Dogecoin. I think we understand that. Doge was the original. SHIB came after that as far as the community really pumping the coin was concerned. It is second place, I would say. But so it's going to be a little harder even for announcements like this to really cause the price to absolutely rocket. But if people can really see SHIB established as a method of payment that a lot of people are on board with, just like everyone was pushing for Doge to be that method, then I think SHIB will actually have a delayed launch based off more and more catalysts like this. So I think early on, these kind of things won't cause a whole lot of movement, because there's plenty of ways you can figure out how to pay, like with SHIB, there's a lot of workarounds and stuff. But the more and more that SHIB catches on and is kind of a name in everyone's mouth, just like Dogecoin, then I think that's when SHIB will do another big move. So yeah, anyway, that's big. I didn't see what they're burning. It could be a small amount, I'm not sure. But either way, a burn is a burn, right? Now let's go ahead and go to Michael Saylor. See what he has going on here, see what he said. Were you talking about this here over? Oh, may Satoshi be with you? Well, here he's talking about Bitcoin. Oh, hey, Roar Nation, what's going on? What's the Shiba Inu going to do? I think it's going to pull back to around anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000. My guess would be that 15 to 17 range. Really, I mean, you could just eyeball the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. I'm sorry, the 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. See wherever that sits. That's about where I think it's going to stop. And I'm just saying, give that a little range here. So let's just draw a quick rectangle. Give that a range here. I think it's going to stop in this zone, 15 to 1,600. And then move up. At the highest, I still think there will be another red candle here. Some continuation down to probably around 2 at the highest. But I do think, honestly, we'll get a deeper pullback than that overall, even if there's a little bounce first. Because people are going to want to take some profits. But we're only coming down here, I think, if SHIB does not get continued good news to hold the price up. So if there's no catalyst today or tomorrow that's announced, it'll probably start to sell off a little bit more. And then, but I think SHIB has potential still to go back up to 3, as long as the rumor doesn't get disproved, and head towards 5. Jonathan said, I posted a picture in the Discord SHIB group. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., the SHIB army is pushing the community to buy 100 SHIB simultaneously. That's the kind of stuff that makes me not like it. See, guys, this is the stuff, honestly, that turns me off of Shiba Inu. Because I mean, it's such an honest, good move up, and now they're trying to organize an event to pump event. All that does is screw over people that don't know how these events go. This is literally a pump and dump, a organized pump and dump. That's so messed up. Man, all right. They're killing my vibe with that one. I wish I didn't see that. I was starting to get a little more positive. Thank you for sharing, Jonathan. But yeah, Rafi, since the rumor hasn't been disproved, as long as it doesn't get disproved, SHIB will hold around these levels, probably not going under any circumstance under 1,500, and with room up back to 3,000, and if it gets confirmed, back up, up to 5 and whatnot. Workers in Wales on the Shiba train. Yeah, toxic. Yeah, I can't recall in Dogecoin's history. I mean, I know we thought on Doge Day that, it was going to hit $1, that we were all going to buy in and make it hit $1, but I've never heard of someone saying, all right, on this day, let's all buy this amount and see what happens. Let's try and knock some zeros off, because, I mean, what's going to happen. People are only going to do that so that they can lock in. It's a buy to sell. That's a nicely formulated pump and dump attempt. But whatever, to each their own. I'm going to stay away from the potential negative, since who knows the intention. It's just the way it sounds. I don't like it. Even if it were for Doge or ADA or something else, I wouldn't like that concept. But big props to Shib for that massive move and for holding up here. This is great. All right, now let's go ahead and look at Dogecoin really quick. Don't forget, guys, subscribe if you haven't. I do appreciate it. Dogecoin has been lagging. I mean, it did have a nice move, though, up from 21 cents to 27. But that 27, it would have been nice if it held there. The fact that we're back down to 24 isn't so nice. So I don't really like that. We are getting a bit of a flag pattern here, a triangle. This could break to the top side. But, I mean, if you look right here, it kind of started to curve down a little bit. We're losing a little bit of strength on this. And even though we're at the 200 EMA, we'll have to see how this plays out. But I would really like to see Dogecoin correct and move up to 30, 32, because we are super undervalued. Who in the world is calling me? I don't know who, but I can't answer. So, all right. So there's that. Michael Saylor, JP Morgan tweet. All right, let's take a look at that. Institutional investors are favoring Bitcoin over gold. The implicit endorsement of Bitcoin by major banks and regulators is going to accelerate the collapse of gold and the rise of Bitcoin as the preferred safe haven store of value for both institutional and retail investors. Wow, that's a big statement. Now, I did actually hear some similar information that people were starting to really say, you know, forget gold, let's just move to Bitcoin. Now, we know that Bitcoin already has been considered the digital gold, but now that institutional investors and banks are starting to say, yes, Bitcoin, that is big. And I think all this does is contribute to the fact that we know Bitcoin is going to most likely, there's a 95% chance Bitcoin is going to continue to skyrocket in price, follow the stock to flow predictions, hit the 100K price target, end up 500K in a couple years, and there's not really much that can stop that. Rafi asks again, since the rumor hasn't been disproved yet, what do I think that means? I don't think it means anything. I think Robinhood, I don't think would really, I don't know. Unless someone directly asked them, is that true? I don't know if they would really reply and confirm or something or deny. Unless someone like added them to ask for confirmation, and I don't know if they have. I would say just assume that it's true because there's not much reason not to. And if you find out, you know, just keep an eye on your charts and your news. If you find out something that's different than that, then act accordingly. But I wouldn't assume that it's a lie. I wouldn't assume the worst. But yeah, so it's probably a good sign that they haven't said anything yet. Dogecoin sitting here lagging a bit. We've got Bitcoin here doing well. I forgot to talk about Bitcoin. Bit of a bullish flag forming here. I do think we could break above 55 today, maybe head towards 58. Would not be surprised. And I don't have any particular limitations on Bitcoin at this point, guys. Infrastructure bill has been delayed until further notice. Evergrande, things are getting figured out. Billions of dollars being invested so that they could be helped. That's taking all the FUD out of the industry and keeping the bearish mindset at bay. And so you really don't have, even as someone, if you'd like to be short biased, you don't really have a good reason to go short on Bitcoin right now. It is pretty much a long bias, I think, universally. So that probably means Bitcoin is definitely on its way to 60 to 65 here within the next couple weeks. So whatever that brings for our beloved Doge and ADA and SHIB and whatever, there you go. Mike Davis said it was fake news. Interesting. Oh no, that was well, it could have been Matt Wallace. He posted a troll sell your SHIB now YouTube video earlier, which I think is absolutely hilarious because he would have never said that about Dogecoin, just being honest, even if it was a good opportunity to sell. But we know he likes to troll, and yeah, so troll that community, which I think is a little messed up. But what's going on, Robert? All right, guys, that is about going to do it. I am actually over time here, and I need to get going. Thank you all for hanging out today. If you have any more questions, please hit me up on Twitter at 2020 Tech Reviews. That's where I'm the most active, other than obviously in the members only Discord group, which you can join if you're interested and want to become a member of the channel. But I don't ever ask for anyone's money. So if you want to keep it free, Twitter's the best move. So anyway, if you've got more questions than that, Don't forget to remember them and bring them back tomorrow in the next live stream. Hope everybody has a great evening, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.